Like, fire. Holy fuck. The first episode of Yu Yu Hakusho, this has to be one of the greatest first episodes of any anime in all of history, right? Better than Naruto, better than One Piece, even though Toei kind of fumbled that one. Bleach, we gonna get to you later. Oh my god, man, that funeral scene. Y'all know the scene I'm talking about. Spoiler alert if you've never seen the show. The main character dies in the first 5 minutes. Not really that big of a deal to the main character though, Yusuke Urameshi, because he's this delinquent, 14-year-old delinquent that spent his entire life causing trouble everywhere he went. Girls hated him, teachers hated him because he never showed up for class. Even his own mother never really cared that much about him, constantly neglecting him actually to go out and drink every night. Yusuke had nothing to live for. Fast forward to his funeral though, oh man, which he's able to see, by the way, watching from afar as a ghost up in the sky after meeting the Grim Reaper, who is an absolute baddie in this universe, by the way, and not Jamaican, unfortunately. But yeah, Yusuke's watching this whole thing and he's absolutely floored at how many people show up. His mom is obviously there. Other fellow students, they show up, including a love interest. Even some thugs on the street that he just randomly fought earlier in the day before he got hit by the car. They all come to mourn his passing. Oh my god, it's so good, bro. It really puts into perspective for this kid just how much he was actually loved by his community, despite, you know, being a hooligan the entire time. Touch my soul, man. I've been watching a Funimation dub for this, by the way. That's why I put Dragon Ball in the title. So yeah, Yusuke's Dende. This guy's supposed to be Yajirobe. This guy sounds like Android 17. She's supposed to be Chi-Chi. This guy is cooler. She's supposed to be Frieza. This guy, I get it. My fault. I just had to get that on my system real quick. I'm gonna switch back and forth between sub and dub as I continue through the series. But as for right now, man, as for this very moment, I'm gonna be honest, I'm just having way too much fun spotting all the various voices that I recognize in the show. It's like a scavenger hunt. In general, I'm honestly really enjoying this Funimation dub, man. The voice acting can be so overly dramatic at times, but it's like it's the right amount of campiness. There's so many of these like quippy one-liner responses, right? Everybody here is a comedian. The whole vibe of this is just 90s as hell. But yeah, back to the plot. I kind of wasn't done. So after wasting his entire life being a hoodlum and a menace to society, Yusuke finally decides to do one good selfless thing in his life, sacrificing his life to save a child from getting run over by a car. This is more character development in one episode than I think Usopp has gotten in 400 chapters. It's this good deed that actually ends up earning Yusuke a second chance at life. After dying and meeting the ruler of the spirit world, acting ruler, he's a baby, he awards him with a chance to get his body back, an egg that will only hatch through acts of Yusuke being a good Samaritan around town from beyond the grave. Yusuke is eventually resurrected, albeit with a catch. Now he has spiritual powers and must help protect the world from ghosts and demons and a bunch of other apparitional threats as a spirit detective. And that is my brief summary of the very first story arc in Yu Yu Hakusho. I won't be doing that for all of them, but I just had to quickly run through it just because it's just so damn good, man. A masterclass, and not just establishing the premise of this journey we're about to go on as spirit detective, but also just phenomenal set dressing, introducing the entire main cast of characters. I feel like all of the supporting cast gets built just as strongly as Yusuke. Kuwabara and his little street beef with Yusuke is great. They're both thugs, but Kuwabara just so happens to be a thug that also has this incredibly strong sense of honor and respect. He's also great comic relief. Keiko Yukimura in her budding romance with Yusuke is something I definitely didn't expect to get so much focus this early on in the story, but I am absolutely here for it. I love how she and Kuwabara are the only ones that really hold Yusuke down while he's dead, like not even his mom. And even though Kuwabara ends up getting the spiritual powers, it's Keiko who was the one who was actually able to see through Yusuke for who he truly is. The way both Keiko and Yusuke are consistently on the same wave of selflessness about each other without even being aware of it, aware of how the other one feels. On God, this is relationship goals. Keiko is just a really loyal ass, down ass chick, man. She deserves the world. Botan and Koenma are great too. Seeing Botan in street clothes, I think, has awakened something within me that I can't really explain with words. Every time they cut to Koenma and this one guy in his office is hilarious. These guys definitely need their own sitcom. Is there HR in the spirit world? Because this guy needs it. Kurama and Hiei, I feel like it's still a bit early to comment on. I think there's still a lot more to dig into when it comes to these two. So I'll just leave that there for now. But hey, I mean, so far they're pretty chill. Hiei's little bit less chill. They have some pretty cool fighting styles. One has a thorn whip and the other is an edgelord ninja samurai hybrid short king. When we finally see the main four, you know, Yusuke, Kuwabara, Hiei, and Kurama all on screen together, all doing stuff together, it's incredibly satisfying. The contrast here is amazing. You have the green one, the blue one, the purple one, and the black one. They're like the Power Rangers. Yeah, man, all the characters here are very strong. Very strong. Again, except for Yusuke's mom, I'm low-key hoping she gets a redemption arc. She isn't the only one that's evil. I am also wondering why the faculty in Yusuke's school is so, I don't know. It's like, I get it. Yusuke never shows up to class. It just seems like their sole purpose in life is to make sure that Yusuke and, I guess by proxy, Kuwabara and Keiko get expelled from school and have their entire lives ruined forever. It's kind of extreme. I gotta say, I do really appreciate how each of these first few arcs are structured, man. Very easy to digest. The first one that I already talked about at length, that's the one about Yusuke getting his body back. It's just a rule of three thing, you know, 3 good deeds, Yusuke gets his body back. You know, nothing crazy. I already explained why it was good. The Keiko romance stuff, oh. The second arc is basically Yusuke's first big job as spirit detective. Once again, the rule of 3. He has to recover these 3 sacred artifacts. This is where we first meet Kurama and Hiei. Genkai's tournament was sick. Yo, this is when I really can say like, yeah, now I'm starting to get hooked onto the story. This is Yusuke going undercover to expose and eventually eliminate this demon who is participating in this contest to determine the next student for this old lady that lives in the mountains that has incredible spiritual abilities. It kind of reminds me of the Hunter exam. Multiple stages to it that get more and more interesting as it goes on. Thanks to the mystery, you know, who the demon in disguise might be. But also because this arc is kind of just one giant showcase all the different crazy things that can really be done with spirit energy. This arc was great for developing the world's power system. The next arc inside Mei's castle, again, simple but effective. This is pretty much just a Tower of Doom. This arc is kind of like a video game. This is the first job with, you know, the main 4, the Power Rangers. Here, they're just fighting their way through this castle, taking turns battling against these 4 evil demons, the 4 Saint Beasts. This basically ends up becoming a race against the clock to prevent the living world from being overrun by zombies. Sorta. Again, nothing too complex, but the way the tension slowly builds in this arc, man, it's amazing. It really, you know, kind of caught me off guard by the end of it, to be honest. I wasn't expecting Keiko to get involved. I do have a couple nitpicks with Yu Hakusho, one of them being that, you know, at this very moment at least, I feel like I've yet to be introduced to that, you know, that one really strong and impactful antagonist. It's kind of just been a lot of Monster of the Week type stuff, so that's one. And then the other is that, you know, I'm gonna be honest, the fights are a little bit underwhelming, a little anticlimactic. It's kind of just Yusuke getting beat up the entire time, one spirit gun, and then you're done type of deal. And it's kind of just wash, rinse, and repeat. I say all that to say, though, that Yusuke's battle with Suzaku in Mei's castle is freaking awesome. It kind of felt like a Souls-like boss battle, right? With, you know, multiple phases. This is also the fight where Yusuke finally digs deep inside, has this whole introspective moment where he finally figures out what he's really fighting for, right? Or I guess who he's really fighting for. Great character work, man. Great character work. And perfect pacing as well. Suzaku definitely doesn't go down easily, but the fight also doesn't overstay its welcome either. I really enjoyed Gyako versus Kuwabara as well. I just need to take a second to talk about the animation, bro. Ooh! This was made in the 90s, all right? This isn't Demon Slayer or anything like that. It's all just so incredibly consistent. Any technique that uses spirit energy, any sort of aura looks absolutely gorgeous. The environments are really well done here. Man, please take me back to the time when backgrounds were actual painting. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, back to the story recap. The last arc, the Yukino mission, that's just your basic hostage rescue mission. Basic here being in air quotes because the hostage is Hiei's sister. Hiei has a sister. Yusuke and best buddy Kuwabara once again storming a mansion and defeating demons one by one that get progressively stronger as they work their way through. Again, nothing too crazy. This one is kind of just here to set up the next major arc in the story, which I've been told for years is just okay, I guess. Everything that I said about there being a lack of iconic villains in this show, I might end up looking silly if the Toguro brothers really show out in the next arc. The way they get englazed in this arc, man, they better. Yeah, I mean, overall, so far, I think Yu Hakusho is pretty freaking cool. I'm enjoying my time. There's no way in hell this didn't inspire Bleach, right? Spirit detective, Soul Reaper. I heard Yusuke might have a demon form. Look at all these Bleach kids running around now, breaking all these box offices all around the world. Put some respect on Yu Hakusho, bro. Next is the Dark Tournament. I'm hoping the fights get better, but then again, that also might just be part of me unfairly comparing this to the depths of madness that is the Succession contest. That's kind of unfair for most battle series. I don't know when the next video will be. I might have to split into parts though, because going by episode count, it definitely looks like it's going to be a long one. I'm out.
If it's me, I apologize. I'm just high, so sometimes I'll just emphasize. I'm just shy, so I really need to emphasize. After this performance, check my vitals, make sure that I'm still alive, 'cause I give it all, give it